More new footage shows Ripley trying to persuade Dylan that the company does not want to kill the alien and that they want to take it back for research. Dylan doesn't seem to mind, as the world outside of Fiona 161 doesn't matter to him anymore. Morse comes running in, telling him that they have a problem. Ripley, Dylan, Aaron and Morse head to the waste tank like the theatrical version, but some of the dialogue is changed or extended. When Dylan finds Arthur's body in the theatrical cut, he mentions that this makes 10 dead. In the assembly, he's just muttering some grief. The dialogue extends with Aaron being upset with the alien now being released and that he's out of ideas. He also mentions that Andrews was right about Golic being chained up. The argument with Morse and Aaron makes more sense, with Aaron getting angry with Morse for letting Golic loose. When Dylan grabs Morse in the theatrical version, he tells Morse to get everyone to the furnace. In the assembly cut, he tells everyone to go to the assembly hall. And when Ripley disappears from them, there's an additional line where he says, "Where did she go?" After Ripley and Aaron find out that she's got a chest burster inside her, there's a new scene of the surviving prisoners huddled up together in the assembly hall. Dylan tells them that it's best to hold up here, as the hall had no access fence and the alien can only come through one of these doors. Some of the prisoners start to argue with Dylan with what fight can they put up against the creature. He lets them know until the rescue team gets here, they're fucked. When Morse sees Kevin lighting up a cigarette with a match, that reminds him about the fire which the alien is afraid of. He then mentions the furnace. When Ripley tells Aaron she's going to look for the alien, there's additional dialogue where she tells him that she is carrying a queen embryo and that the creature won't attack her. He responds by telling her if she really thinks that the creature is that smart to know that. More extended lines when Ripley is confronting Dylan about having an alien inside her. She tells him more about how the alien must have impregnated her while she was in cryosleep and that she's carrying a queen that can lay thousands of eggs. At the end of the confrontation, when Dylan refuses to kill her, he tells her that she should just go kill herself. Dylan starts off by saying how he can get even with the creature and that it's fucked him up. Aaron tries to persuade the other survivors to just sit this one out, as the rescue team are almost on their way. Ripley tells Aaron that the company just want the beast and that he knows that. Aaron responds by saying he doesn't care what they want and that they're going to take us home. Dylan calls back at Aaron saying that they're not going to take us home. The rest of the scene follows on with the theatrical cut until the end with Dylan's rousing speech. It is slightly more extended. The footage with David complaining to Jude about their plan of using themselves as bait has been completely cut out of the assembly version and replaced with William and Gregor talking about whether they believe in all this heaven shit. William says, what else do they have to believe in? It follows with a montage of the prisoners psyching themselves up and laughing out loud, which helps draws the alien to them as their voices are being echoed down the various corridors. Another brief scene cut from the assembly version before the action in the corridor starts is a shot of Aaron waiting for the company. He rubs the steam out of the mirror and looks at his reflection, like Ripley does early in the film, probably contemplating whether the company are really going to destroy the alien or not. During the tunnel chase at the beginning, David comes across a body. He shouts out that he thinks he's found Vincent. There's an extended scene of a couple of the prisoners getting lost and accidentally running back into the mold area. Dylan almost kills Morse. Morse heads back out and Dylan tells Troy to go out there and help them. Ripley asks Dylan what about the plan. He responds by saying that you're immune, they're not, and that the men are now improvising. Ripley looks in disbelief at the situation. These extended scenes in the corridor lead works make the whole action sequence flow better. This section of the film got a lot of criticism when it was released, as being too confusing to follow with the geography and not knowing who was who. The Chinese-looking scientist gets to talk more in the assembly cut. He tries to tell Ripley that they have a surgical team ready on the Sulaco ship to take the alien out of her, and that the procedure will be quick and painless. After Aaron strikes Bishop, there's more footage to show that he is human. You see him bleed more as Bishop holds his wound and is shown being in pain. He also tells the cameraman to take no pictures, as well as shout out to Ripley that he's not a droid. She mutters an extra line to herself that he's crazy, as well as there's slightly extra moments with her preparing to fall to her death. The ending to the assembly cut is different when she falls into the furnace. The chest burster does not come out of her. Instead, she burns up, holding her arms out like a crucifix. This was David Fincher's ending to the movie. He did not want the alien to burst out of her, to make it more of her choice, and that the fact that Ripley could have saved herself if she really wanted to. The studio wanted the chest burster to come out of her as a signature end to the trilogy, and also to not have it similar to the movie ending to Terminator 2, which I had never thought of the similarity of the two films' endings until it was mentioned on the making of the documentary. David Fincher fought against the chestburster ending but was overruled by the studio and the producers. These two endings often get disputed into what is better. I personally like Fincher's ending, as Elliot Goldenthal, the composer, said it was more dark and less Hollywood. While I can see why people like the chestburster ending, with the creature coming out of her and Ripley holding it as they both fall to their end. Overall, the assembly cut is a vast improvement next to the original. This new version was done without David Fincher's approval, as he didn't want anything to do with Alien 3 because of the terrible experience he had making the film. From the information I got from the making of, with the cast and crew interviews and the man who supervised this alternative version, the assembly cut is much closer to what Fincher's overall vision of the film would have been if he had been given full creative control. Apparently, he gave his blessings to this cut. This movie has gained popularity with people over the years, particularly the fans of the Alien series. Some would even put this as their favourite, or on equal terms with its two great predecessors. Thanks for watching.